I just made an excellent, if I don't say so myself, review on TENS units as a treatment, and TikTok shut down and deleted my whole video. I had spent like a half hour on it and I was about to post it. So here's the short version. Here's an idea of two different placement patterns for the electrodes for PGAD, persistent genital arousal disorder, better called genital dysesthesia. Here's another placement position for pelvic pain. I think this one is on like the P10s pathway that's kind of based on acupuncture points for the bladder and bladder pain. I only find any benefit using the TENS unit if I can get it as close as possible to the areas of pain. So for me, that's the path of the pudendal and genitofemoral nerves. So I place one on the pubic mound area as close as I can, one kind of in my groin, one kind of on my ischial tuberosity, that's my sit bone, and then one sort of back in my gluteal cleft, which is the butt crack. That's just the medical name for it. So all it does really is just send electrical impulses, kind of tingling like a pins and needles feeling into the skin and kind of nearby areas where you've placed the electrodes. And for me, it can kind of cover up some of the pain signals, kind of distract the brain a little bit from feeling them. But it's really, to me, like a Band-Aid. It doesn't seem to matter how much I use it. It doesn't actually change my pain. So to me, it's not really like an effective treatment in terms of using it a lot, you'll get better. I've had this for 10 years. I've used it intensively at various points, and it's never like changed my outcome in terms of treating some cause of my pain. It's more just been like in the moment that I'm using it, or like an ice pack or a heat pack, in that moment, it is sending different feedback to my brain, additional feedback that's like competing with the pain feedback, and therefore my perception of my pain is lower. Now, I actually really hate my TENS unit because the wires are super annoying. They always get super tangled up and bungled everywhere. And no matter what I do to my skin, shower, use alcohol to get oil off, use brand new electrode stickers. Like no matter what I do, trying to put them in the places that I need them, they start immediately falling off. So once I get them in the right spot, I cannot move a muscle for the entire time the program is on. So that's not a very useful treatment if I can't even like adjust my leg or the electrodes fall off. And if you've used these before, you know that when the electrodes start to peel off and the machine is on, it's actually quite painful. So this TENS unit, to me, it has a lot of drawbacks. It also is battery operated. The batteries will often run out. A lot of times I'll get it all set up. We got the electrodes in place. I'll have my posture set in my chair with my water and everything all set up. And then in 10 minutes, the battery wears out and I have to redo everything. So I've tried different kinds of TENS units. Ones that didn't have leads, ones that just like stick to your back. Or I thought I could just like stick it on my glute and target that area of pain. And none of those work. They're terrible. No matter what it is, there's always some big problem. Like most of the time, it's actually the sensation itself is like inferior quality. You can't just get a steady signal. It's got all these crazy settings that are like mimicking like acupuncture and massage, but they can't possibly do that. They're just like weird blasting sensations on rotation. The most recent one I bought, it didn't seem to matter what setting you put it on. It kind of went through the same cycle. And at one point it was always like going some soft to loud, like, so it was like, it just drove me nuts. It was not helpful at all. This is definitely the best one that I've tried out of many. But it does have the really, really, really long tangly leads. And like I said, for my skin and the places where I need to put it with gravity and the nature of the foldy skin, the electrodes don't stick and I just can't move while I'm wearing it. So my opinion is it's something you might want to try. It's not too expensive and it can kind of feel good if you're like in excruciating pain. If I was like forced to drive, I would try to use this. But again, there's that problem of any movement causes them to fall off, and it's like sitting upright too. It's like some of them are going to not be in a gravitationally advantageous position. And then like if you wore them in a public place if you have pudendal neuralgia, like you can't really be adjusting those leads. You're just going to have your hand down your pants in a plane or a train or whatever. So there's a lot of limitations to the usefulness of these for someone with pudendal neuralgia, in my opinion. It might be worth a shot, but to the people who keep telling me that the TENS unit is the answer, for me, it's barely been helpful. It's a little helpful and I use it sometimes, but it's no miracle silver bullet at all.